Hello, I am Kaivalya.
Hello, I'm Dhanashree.
Considering our diverse fields, I think I should first tell you that I, being a student of law, have always found that my background has helped me in accessing the society and the community around very well, because there is a certain kind of respect, there is a certain kind of stature to a lawyer in the society. So it became very easy while working in community to access them, to talk with them, to understand their concerns, and it also helped me to gain insight into various administrative concerns which we have, and overall communicating with society became very easy, and of course we uh, became more compatible with each other while working in the society and while working in the field of education. So that's about my background as a lawyer, helped me in pursuing whatever work I'm doing right now for the community.
First of all, I thanks to the parent community, those who raise such questions, and how psychology helps me in my field of teaching. I can say that psychology is when you understand a child in different ways, you can work easily with him. Uh, Here we have children from different backgrounds, different socio-cultural stratas, different home conditions, uh, they represent different diversities in society. So it is very difficult to teach in one way for all of them. So psychology helps me to understand a child and treat him, or make him learn, or make him comfortable in this whole environment, and to solve his personal, emotional, mental problems easily, because learning is not should not be a rote learning, or learning is not only a bookish theory. Learning is a process. So it psychology helps me to make this process very easily and happily for them. So being a psychologist, I always put further this role before a teacher's role, because I always come to know when a child comes to me with such a problem. It gives me insight that this problem is a superficial, a root cause is different. So this thought, or this process helped me to understand a child or his learning process better, and make him comfortable here.
I would like to add one more thing. She being from psychology background and I being from law background helped us become more compatible to each other also, because while working in the community, it is always good to have different perspectives, different ways of thought. That's what we realized when we started working in the community. And yes, of course, our diversities, rather the differences of backgrounds which we have helped us a lot in understanding the community better. Lokasadhana school uh, has evolved during all these times since its establishment. Uh, it was founded by my parents, Dr. Raja Dandekar and Renu Dandekar, in the year 1982, and it started with 6 students. which now hosts around 350 students every year. Thousands of students have passed out of the school. Since last 22 years, Lokasadhana School has included skill-based education in the along with the regular syllabus. We do follow SSC State Board syllabus, and along with that, we have included skill-based education syllabus, which is recognized by National Institute of Open Schooling, and which has given us tremendous results. So the objective of this skill-based education is twofold, I think. One is that to develop entrepreneurial abilities in the children, and the other objective is to make them self-reliant, to make them confident, so that when they pass out of the school, they are confident enough to stand on their own feet and do whatever they want. This syllabus particularly focuses on improving these skills, and it works in four major areas, while right from standard 5th to standard 10th. So the first area is, of course, engineering. Second area is energy and environment. Third one is agriculture and animal husbandry, and fourth one is home and health. So under these four major heads, there are around 150 different skills, business ready skills, which are taught to these children. And I think that has proven to be a very, very effective tool of empowering the youth and community around, because these children who have passed out of our school and have followed this course, they have now started their own businesses. And as far as the personal developments are concerned, or personal confidence is concerned, I think Dhanashree would be in a better position to tell you how she has seen children evolve by undergoing these various trainings, and by learning these skills.
First of all, we can say that every skill has its own utility. From standard 5th to standard 10, when skills, difficulty level of skills are changed, for 5th standard students, we teach some home products, or some paperwork, or origami, modeling, some food products. And from 5th to 10, the difficulty level of every aspect is changed. But we can see that these skills help them in their daily routine, or we can say in disasters, these skills helps them a lot. We can take one example. We have a child who live here with his grandparent, and his mother and father work in Mumbai. So in his house, grandparents and these both children were there, and they cook their food on their own, and they feed their grandparents also, and they come to schools. So these cooking skills helps them in their daily life also. Like in disaster, in these cyclone, or in these in this rainy seasons, many times it happens that electricity was not there for 10 days, 20 days, 15 days. So in such period, student make their own solar units, small solar units. They can lit one bulb in their house. So we think that it's not always always a story of a big entrepreneur, or it's not a story for always for a business. It's like their daily thing, and knowingly unknowingly, they are imbibing these skills in their selves and using it in their daily life to solve their own problems. So we think, or we are very happy that these skills help their it's like one problem solving skill for them. They can solve their own daily problems with these skills. So I am very happy to share that my child is also learning here, and he is in a fifth standard. Many times this happened that we are not able to go home on time because of our work, or sometimes there are guests. So he go home and he cook his own food. He make a roti, he can make a tea. So it comes here, like he is not depend on us for a food. He can cook his own food. So it's very or such a in a such a small age he becomes very independent. And second purpose of education is to make an individual independent, or make an individual self reliant, self sufficient. So these skills helping children to make their own feed for themselves. We can say that they are being as an individual, they are learning independence through these skills, and they are much confident while learning these skills. So it's helping them all around their lives to solve their own problems.
To add to this, I think one more thing we have realized during our understanding of this entire process, that though we have right to education, we even today we don't have right to choose, right of choice. So I think that is very essential for a child in a learning system to have that right, of choice, what to learn, when to learn, how to learn. All these things should be dedicatedly given to the children to decide. They should be the authority to decide what they want to learn. So instead of imposing learning on them, it should be a self evolving process, which I am very very happy that in this skill based education course, these children are the authority. They decide what to learn, they decide how to learn, then they decide when to learn, how much time they want to allot to a particular activity. They are in charge, and that is the reason they love this kind of learning very much. And I think that gives us a very very great approach in understanding these kids, working with them, motivating them to do new things, to innovate. And like we always say that for rural problems we should create rural solutions. So instead of importing solutions from outside which are not tried and tested in the area where all these children are living, the community around, we should rather develop our own solutions which will be more compatible with the community where you are working. So I think this is one more benefit of having this skill based education system, that it gives us clarity about understanding the society. It gives us clarity about how to find compatible solutions to the problems the society is facing. And most important of all these features is it makes the children instrumental and the central idea of change in the community. Of course, the most crucial and important, or rather most concerning hurdle which we face is lack of human resources. So now, as the organization has worked for around 40 years, many people around are aware of the work, and they do come visit. Sometimes they try and understand the work and be part of it in their own capacity. But the most important hurdle, or the most important difficulty we have, is the lack of human resources here, because in this small village, very few people are able to stay for a prolonged time and work here with us. So that's the biggest issue, that's the biggest difficulty we have. And of course, as I said earlier, that we have also developed a solution for that. We all multitask here. So the entire organization is a setup of around 20-25 people who actually effectively are involved in day-to-day functioning of this organization. So we all multitask, we all do things which are not we so here we don't have any precise defined scope of work. So everybody's scope of work is everything. So that is one beautiful thing we have here. We all work as a family, we all work as a very close knit community in this organization, and it helps us a lot.
Now in these changing situations, we face a problem like, now in a rural area also people want a medium of instruction in English. And now the craze, we can say, or glamour of medium of instruction in English is now uh, taking charge of their minds. And they don't believe in Marathi medium schools. So these glamour, these attraction of cities, the freedom they get in the city is more than in their own rural communities. So we can say that this the biggest hurdle now is that they are much inclined towards the English medium schools than the Marathi medium schools. So this is the most important barrier now we face. And the major thing is the migration. After 10th, 12th, children go to cities for work or for higher education. It's not always a higher education, it's mostly the work. And uh, without any prior skill, without any inclination, they go, and sometimes they lost themselves because they don't know what to do, and they do some work. So it feels very bad that some good children who have very good capacities, but in their later life they don't use that without, because of their other problems. And we feel very sad for that. So these are some biggest hurdles or biggest barrier in our work now.
Don't just get stuck on these things being the hurdles in our path, but we try and always think that we should always try and convert the difficulties into opportunities. So, and we have always tried doing that. So even if this migration is a major concern, now we have started thinking differently about it. Up till now, we were considering it as a difficulty and we tried a lot in various ways to deal with it. But it is now a fact that we are in a phase wherein we should develop scope or develop spaces wherein the handholding between the urban and rural communities will become easier. It is a fact that the communities in rural communities are going to go to the cities, and they are going to be attracted towards the life in the cities and the standard of living there, the way of life there. But it is very much possible that we'll be able to convince them that their children should learn in rural setup to evolve more, to have a free space of learning. So that's what we are right now doing. We are trying to convince the parents that though they have to go to the cities to earn their livelihood, their children need not face the hardships of the city life. They can very well stay here and learn in this rural setup. And to some extent, we are getting successful in that. So yes. When we decided to move to Chikhalgaon, it was a big step moving from a city like Pune to Chikhalgaon, because This village till this date has only one small shop in the village. There is nothing else. So even to get a bag of milk, we have to travel 16 kilometers even today. So as I said that we thought it would be very challenging, it would be very difficult to accommodate there, to adjust there. But when we actually shifted here, it was not that case. It was not the case, because we have always considered that we were sufficiently motivated to come here, and what motivated us is the happiness we see in these children when they come to us, when they come to the school, and the way they uh, they are moving around the space, learning space, is very very satisfying. I would say that it's the kind of satisfaction which I don't think anywhere I could have got. Irrespective of the money I would have earned, irrespective of the positions I would have gone to attained, I think this happiness, this satisfaction I see on the faces of these children when we are working in the school is something which is magical, which is the most powerful motivating factor for us, I think. It is also the satisfaction on the faces of the parents when they come to the school and they see their kid learning in a different way, evolving in a different environment. So it gives them a confidence that yes, their kid can also do something better. Their kid can also has their kid also has some bright path laid ahead of him. So that is what keeps us going. That is what motivates us, and the passion to explore ways of learning. Again I say that that is again one more way because of which reason because of which we are putting in efforts every day out.
Actually, motivation comes with the dreams, we can say. If you see some different kind of dreams in your first half of your life, so you get motivation from those dreams. In case of us, or I can say in case of myself, I always dream a different life. I don't want to live in city and give a bank all your income to make a one house. So to live here easily, to live a simple life, uh, but a rich life, it is possible in a rural area. To live in a 35 acres alone, it gives me a more happiness than to live in a crowded city.